Welcome back, family. It's another beautiful day. I welcome you onto our series for the week, Back to Our Roots. I go by the name His Eminence Numo Chawi Otrome II, Chawi Ulomo of Kom. And today we have a very interesting topic on board to learn or to discuss, which is entitled Marine Deities and then their significance. Marine Deities and their significance. One thing I want you to understand and know is that this particular topic or title doesn't end or relate only to the Greater Accra region of Ghana, but to the entire world at large, or to any particular community or country that is settled around any water source. Our reference for today is actually going to be a bit biblical, although we do not apply biblical lessons and teachings in our traditional setup. I just want to draw your mind onto that particular verse or that particular reference for you to understand something very particular and unique. And then the reference is Genesis chapter 1, verse 12. Verse 2, sorry, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. I am reading from what the Bible says. It says, "And the earth was formless, and the darkness was on the waters, and the Spirit of God moved upon the faces of the waters." Now, someone will ask, why did I raise this particular topic, or why did I choose this particular topic for reference? What I want us to understand as indigenes of Africa, as children of the land, and as people of Greater Accra or Africa or the world is, no one created our water energies, nor other energies that exist. Those energies came out by themselves. Note, God did not create water. During the creation story of what I just read, you are going to understand, or you will understand, that water was already existing in our universe before the whole creation story started, according to the Christian section of creation that majority have accepted to be their basis of the creation story. That is why I made reference to that. I want you to understand that no one created water, and therefore the Spirit of God, according to the Christian section, was also hovering on the surfaces of the waters. That was what our deities and other divine energies were also doing. They were also present in the universe, but they were moving on the surfaces of the water. Mind you, God did not create water. God did not create water. Water was already existing in the universe. Today we are taking a look at marine deities. Whenever we speak of marine or marine deities, we are referring to the water sources that carries energy. In our previous section, I made you to understand that the Gan and Dangwe people are people that are animists. They believe in things of the universe, and that all these things in the universe do contain or carry energy. These energies do not die. They rather transform into a different thing after the death of that particular living thing. Henceforth, we as humans, we just get reincarnated after we pass on into the ancestral realm. We as Africans do not pass away. Anything that passes away does not come back into existence. But whatever comes back actually passes on, because it goes and it metamorphoses and it comes back as a different thing altogether. So that is that. What we are going to look at is marine deities. And then starting straightforward, when you come to the Greater Accra region of Ghana and Africa at large, we have so many deities that are connected to the seas, that are connected to the river bodies, to the water bodies, to the ponds, to the lakes. You can mention as much as you can. And the most revered one of all these energies or entities that we know is Mami Water. Today, we all know a lot about Mami Water, but we are going to look at other aspects that people do not actually know about. Good. So, first of it all, we have to understand that marine or water deities are energies that abode on water and may or may not visit the land except when invoked or angry. That means for any water energy to visit the land, they may decide to come and visit the land or not. Or they may only come onto the land for a particular task. That is when they are invoked or summoned to do something. Now, water energies or marine deities are associated with some of these things. Some include fertility, creativity, and then distraction. It also stands for the unknown because when you take a critical look at most of our seas, you realize there are deep, deep trenches down there that even advanced machinery and advanced devices cannot get access to. Therefore, wherever you see water or whenever we perceive water energies or water deities, we can relate them to the unknown things that are within this particular human world. And my people in the Ghana language will say, Gomo adesan yichonle mani. That means the head of a human is a town. You can never finish diving deep down into the head of a human. You realize there are so many things that the more you unfold things to the person, you realize those things do actually come out. So water energies or marine deities actually do stand in to represent the unknown. It also stands for the depth of the subconscious and then the unknown forces. That is, like I said, in your human brain, there are so many how do you say departments or functionalities that humans cannot actually tap into. That is because whatever humans do bring out, we perceive they have made that particular thought. For instance, someone can tell you, I have changed from my bad ways, but the next moment you see him or her in that same old thing, or even in an advanced manner of what he or she said he or she has quitted. Right, so we have that. And then also the depth of the subconscious, like I said, all relates to the mind. It's all water energies. Then one thing we are supposed to understand is water deities or marine energies have two nature. They have two nature. That is, they can either care or preserve or come out to destroy or cause destruction. These are the two natures of our water energies you are supposed to know. And now, let's move on straight to how they are worshipped. Someone will ask, so I want to be an advent or an adherent to the river beside my village, or the sea alongside my town, or the pond or the lake around my hometown. How do I go about it? Now, one thing you are supposed to understand is at the banks of these particular water bodies, offertories can be made. Now, you can make offertories using white candles, coins, cowries, soft drinks, mild drinks, white beads, sprays, and then sweet scented mirror. All these things are things that water energies do admire a lot, especially the sweet scented stuff, the candles, and the incenses, the candies, the coins, the cowries. These are things that water energies do like a lot. So someone will ask, upon all of this, what are the significance of water energies? Or if I should be an adherent to a water energy, what are the importances or the important things I can be able to derive from adhering to or worshiping these water energies? These are some. Water energies actually represent life and eternity. This is how the whole thing goes. We are on the land. Whenever the land is hungry, rain falls from the sky onto the floor. And when it falls from the sky onto the ground or onto the floor, what we realize is plants do germinate. So that means wherever there is water, there is life. Wherever there is water, there is eternity. That is why we have the seas, we have the river, the rains, the lakes, the ponds that do not dry out. Those ones are symbols of eternity. That means once you are an adherent to a water energy, your energy remains within you for the rest of your lifetime. Even when you pass on into the ancestral realms, it's still going to metamorphose or reincarnate into something that is actually going to link it up with the water as well. Now we have symbol of fertility. Just like the picture I created earlier, the rain falls onto the land. It fertilizes the land. It impregnates the land. And then the land actually germinates or gives birth to new plants. So whenever you are connected to water, you have to understand you are a symbol of fertility. Then water is actually the key holders to other dimensions. Someone will ask, how do you mean? There is a particular set of worship in Ghana, we call them Nakaba. Some do call them Awoyo. What they do is, per their consultation, They use cups that are actually filled with water, and they look into the cup of water to be able to tell things that are supposed to come in the future, or to tell things that came in the past. And that is the power of water. In most temples, they all use water. Most of the spiritual churches, they all use water, because water is actually a universal thing, a universal liquid that is able to link up all realms together, making it very, very easier for them to be able to pass through other realms. So once you are a water energy person, or once you are an adherent to a water energy, you have to understand that you have the key to be able to summon other dimensions to open in your favor. Also, adherent to marine deities or water energies are people that are actually mediators. Water is life. During our traditional libation, we say words like, as we are pouring this particular water down, may there be peace wherever there was chaos in the previous times. That is when a resolution or a mediation is being done between two parties to bring in peace, understanding, and stability, right? So when these things actually go on, we pour in water to calm both sides. And that is one thing that I should tell you, that water is actually a mediator. Like Fela Kuti said, water no get enemy. Right. Then actually water energy or water itself controls wealth and then the hidden knowledge. That is, whatever wealth you are looking for, everything comes from the water world. There is no wealth that has its source or its own source. Most of the wealth we see, most of the wealthy people we see actually are connected in one way or the other to the sea or to any water bodies, because these particular water bodies harbor divine energies that are able to control your wealth. Also, it enables you to be able to bring things into existence. That is the hidden knowledge that I was speaking about. Water is able to unlock your knowledge into hidden things. That is why in Africa here, we know and we understand that most of the advanced technologies and things we see actually do come from the sea or from the water bodies, because those particular areas are actually realms and worlds on their own. So things that they manufacture, things that they cause or bring into existence, are some of the things that actually do reflect on the land that we have here. The wigs, the cars, the text, the smartphones, a whole lot. Actually, most of these things do start there, because water stands for an enlarged knowledge. And water, or being connected to water, actually helps you to be able to unlock the hidden knowledge of the world. In addition, agents of water or water energies or marine deities can actually cause distraction. They have the power to bless. They have the power to fertilize. They have the power to cause abundance to come in. They also have the power to cause distraction. If you watch these tsunamis that occurred some time ago, if you watch the videos, you realize that the power of water is something that human must not joke with. Water can calm you down and then destroy you in a way you might not even be expecting. And that is the power of water. Water has the power to bless or to curse. Water has the power to bless or to punish. Water has the power to cleanse or to cause flooding, which will cause destruction. Now, in addition, also being an adherent to a marine deity or a water energy makes you to be easily identified. That is, it builds up your cultural identity. We have traditional sects that are water energy people, and for them, all they do is they just link themselves up to water, right? So once you see them in their adornment, the seashells and other things, you see the cowries, you realize they are water adherents. Well, they are people that are actually connected to water, and you see them in their cultural suit. So once you see such people, they're able to identify that these particular people actually do belong or are related to a water entity somewhere. And these are some of the symbols that once you see, you can be able to tell that this particular person is actually in connection or in line to a water source or to a water energy or to a marine deity. Some include the seashells. Like I said earlier, we have the cowries, we have the white sea stones, Normally, when you get to the river, the seaside, for instance, you won't see those at the riverbanks. You see most of these beautiful white or whitish pebbles that actually are alongside the beaches, and then we sometimes do collect them. I remember clearly growing up, we were collecting those things and we were keeping it in the house. And then I remember my grandmother, who was a priestess by then, telling us stories about the mermaids and other things that she also did meet personally because she was having that kind of third eye. And those things were actually in existence. She was seeing those things and she was telling us about them. So she was telling us about the gathering of the pebbles and other stuff. And it was interesting growing up meeting her around. May she continue to rest in peace. And then actually one thing is, when you are connected to a water deity or to a marine energy, you can actually set up your own small place for them, your place of veneration or your place of worship. What you need is a table, a white table, a consecrated place that you do not take filth to. When I say filth, it doesn't relate to dirt or dirty stuff, although those are part. Those are the physical filth. We have the spiritual filth that you must avoid. Such include having sexual intercourse with a woman and then heading straight over to your temple. It actually desecrates the whole place. That is point number one. Point number two, taking things that are fermented and things that are actually not meant to be eaten. You actually can't take those things into their place of or your place of worship or your place of veneration. That is one thing you are supposed to understand too as well. So once you set up the place, you can purify the place using sea salt and then sea water. In addition, you can use normal water to re-cleanse the whole place to make the place clean. From there, you can use in nice perfumes and sprays and stuff. You can paint the whole place white. You can set up your table, use a white linen cloth to cover, and then you start your veneration. The best of the best is when a marine energy actually connects itself to you. It makes it very, very easy and accessible for you to be able to get things you are looking for, to be able to access dimensions as a spiritualist. But if not, and out of your own wish and your own will, you want to summon them, you have to be very careful because every coin has two sides. This is where we are ending our lesson. You can do subscribe, you can follow us, you can also share. Feel free to post your comments, and remember, we'll be meeting you once again next week, Wednesday. Until then, have a good evening. I still remain His Eminence Numo Chawi Otrome, and this is Back to Our Root. Stay blessed. Cha, 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 umani abla ofini. Awo, ai,